Hey, what is going on, Taurus? Butch here. Um, I'm going to do your 1 week read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. I'm going to be using the Pulp Tarot. And with all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what is going on for Taurus? What message do we have for Taurus? Taurus. So the first thing that I see, Taurus, I feel like this energy that's coming towards you is a familiar energy. This is someone you already know. But I feel like this is someone from your past. I feel like this is someone, I feel like you have a history with this person, and I feel like it didn't go well before. I feel like this person was kind of all over the place. They really didn't know what they wanted. I feel like you kind of got sick of waiting around for this person. Because I do feel like this person had a lot on their plate. I feel like they really weren't in a good headspace. And I feel like they really didn't have much to offer. But one thing that you may not be aware of is they knew that. They didn't think they were enough for you. And like I said, I feel like they did have a lot on their plate. They were trying to get their shit together. They were trying to make themselves something. There were just a lot of out of balance energy with this person in the past. They didn't feel like they could give you what you needed. And I do feel, even though time has passed, like I said, this is a past person. A blast from the past. But I don't feel like they ever got over this. I don't feel like it was ever an end for them, because I don't feel like it was ever meant to end. With this person, I feel like they still think about you all the time and only you. But I feel like there has been some major changes in this person's life. I feel like they finally got their shit together. And the first person they wanted to tell was you. I feel like things are going good for this person. We have the Ace of Pentacles, new opportunities, with the Six of Swords. We have big changes. And then we have that King of Pentacles, which all you Taurus know is that Taurus energy. It's all about having your shit together. It's all about, having goals and achieving them, not just having goals. Having a bunch of goals is nothing if you don't try to achieve them. And I feel like this person, like I said, they didn't have much to offer you. They had a lot on their plate. They had a lot going on, but nothing concrete, nothing they can offer. And I feel like that has all changed. New opportunities has come for this person. It's caused a lot of big changes. But one thing that stayed the same for this person is they always knew what they wanted. They wanted you. So I do feel like this person is coming back. That's why I feel that energy of this person coming towards you. Because they still want what they want. They still want you. I do see this person opening up communication with you. And I feel like with that communication, I feel like they're going to be very clear on what it is that they want. They want you back. Now this person is going to chase you. And they know it's not going to be easy. They know they're going to have to earn your trust. But like I said, when things started going good for this person, all they could think about was you. They wanted to tell you. You're the one they wanted to run back and tell. You're the one they wanted to go celebrate with. You're the one they wanted to share what was going on for them. I feel like deep down this person wanted you to be proud of them, and what they were before wasn't something that you could have been proud of. Or at least they didn't think you could have been. But now that they finally made something of themselves, they want to share that with you. They want your approval. Everything has changed dramatically. This person's outlook is one of the biggest things that has changed. They're seeing things in a different perspective with that hangman, and they're ready to give everything they have to this. They're ready to show up. They're ready to nurture this connection the way they probably should have done before. But like I said, sometimes we meet people, the right person at the wrong time. And I feel like this is exactly what this is, because I feel like this is your person. I feel like you share a strong bond with this person. And that's why it may have hurt even more when it didn't work out. But it wasn't the end. Let's just call it an intermission. A halftime. We took a break. But they found their way back to you with that world card. Everything comes full circle. Everything that was meant to be will be. Sometimes not when it was meant to be, but it may not seem like when it was meant to be, but I don't feel like it was meant to be before. Like I said, I feel like you met the right person at the wrong time. I feel like the further you got with this person in the past, they just realized they didn't have what you needed, or at least what they thought you needed. They couldn't give you that. Now they can. Now they're back. They finally let go of, we have that devil. They finally let go of that idea that they have to be perfect. They just know that they want you in their life. They just know that they only want you in their life. And like I said, this person, shit is going right for this person. Things are coming together nicely, but there's still that missing piece. You're that missing piece. And the more it comes together for them, the more they realize how big of a void that is, not having you with them. They want everything they want. I feel like before they weren't as emotionally mature as they are now. Sometimes in life we come to a situation where we know what we want, but it's not the time to have it. We still have growing to do. And in some cases with some people, we have to learn to grow into each other. Especially if that's who you want. If that's the person you want, we don't have to change for each other. We don't have to do, none of that bullshit. It's about growing into each other. Growing into yourself. Because when you're 18 years old, you may not have a very good idea what you want to do with your life. Where you want to be. So what can you offer someone? What you want at 18 changes when you're 20 or 25, 30, 35, 50. And until you become the person that you were meant to be, it's hard to be with the person you were meant to be with. We all have to have that growth. And I feel like this person has had a lot of growth. A lot of big changes has happened for this person. This person has finally found balance. This person is ready to nurture this connection. They're ready to give it everything they have. They're ready to give you everything they have. And like I said, I feel like they wanted your approval. They didn't think they could give you what you wanted. But this is all on them. This is all their thought process. It doesn't mean it was a reality that they couldn't give you what you wanted. Maybe you didn't want that much from them. But in their eyes, they couldn't give it to you. So they had to, get it together. And that's exactly what I see. They got it together. Like I said, they're ready to show up. They're ready to put in the work to build that foundation. And this is what they want. They want that 10 of cups. They want that family card. And you are a part of it. You are a big part of it. And I do see you getting everything you want and them getting everything they want. It just took time. But they're back to make it work. And like I said, I feel like sometimes we don't know what's best for us. Or sometimes in the moment it doesn't seem like the best thing for us. But there's always a bigger plan at play. And we're not always privy to it. But like I said, I feel like now moving forward, I see a lot of emotional fulfillment. I see a lot of happiness. I see a lot of new opportunities, a lot of growth. They're still growing, and don't get me wrong, they're still growing, but it's more filling out the missing pieces now. The core of who they are, the core of what they want, they're aware of it, and you are a big part of that. You play a very big role. You're more important to this person than you think. And that's the thing. We meet the right person at the wrong time. For you, yes. For them, no. I feel like they needed to meet you. I feel like they needed someone to help them grow. Like sometimes I feel like you get entered into someone's life for something much bigger than just a relationship. Something much bigger than we're aware of. And like I said, it's like having half a puzzle. You can try your best to figure out what the puzzle is trying to tell you, but without all the pieces, you're really never going to really know. They had to go get their pieces. But like I said, they're coming back to you. The place they've always knew they were coming back to. I honestly feel like they always knew they were coming back to you. I feel like they never really let go of you and they never really wanted to. But if they didn't meet you, would they be who they are today? And that's what I mean by sometimes you meet the right people at the wrong time. But that's in the case of you. For them, they met the right person at the right time. Now with this person, we have Aquarius, Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. We have some Aries, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. Like I said, we're always growing. It kind of reminds me of two friends that I had. They're not really friends. They were just people I knew. I really wasn't that close with them, but I just remember this. I remember in high school, they were always together. Like pretty much all high school, they were together. They were a couple. And that's something you don't usually see in high school is, young people being in a couple that long. But they were, and then probably the last few months of high school, I remember they broke up. And everybody was really shocked because they were always together. But it was just a matter of she wanted to settle down. She wanted to commit to him. She wanted to, work on getting married and just, because they already had been living, they already had been living their life together. Like, obviously they lived at different parents' houses, but they already spent 3.5 years together, and which is pretty serious for a young couple. And she was ready. She was ready to say, this is the guy I want to be with. And he wasn't ready to say that. And it wasn't the fact that he didn't love her. It was the fact that he felt like there was so much for him that he needed to do, things that he wanted to see. Now, the relevance of the story is a couple years later, I remember running into them and they were together again and they had a kid. And, and that's the thing. And at the time, she was ready and he wasn't. It doesn't mean they weren't meant to be together. It doesn't mean that. Sometimes we're with the right person and sometimes they're not ready to see it, or both of us aren't ready to see it, or one or the other, you know what I mean? But it's, I feel like sometimes in life we have to grow into ourselves. And sometimes at 18 years old or 16 or 17, adolescence, like it's hard to know exactly what you want or where you see your life going, because everything's so up in the air. Like, you just spent the last 12 years in school, and all of a sudden now you're done. Now what is your life about? Now what are you going to do during the day? Now what is, do you go get a job? Do you go to college? And things are so up in the air at that point in your life, and that doesn't stop. From my personal experience, I mean, I remember being, 18, and I remember I had no idea what I was going to do with my life, but I always wanted kids. That was always something that was important to me. I always wanted to build a family. And then I went through a few years of different things, like I was in the military, and then I fished lobster. Well, I fished lobster on and off my whole life because my uncles are all lobster fishermen. I moved, I moved clear across Canada and worked on oil rigs for 6 years. I was all over the place. Then I met Rose, and then it all started to make sense. Like, I found the person that I was meant to be with. I found the person I wanted to start a life with. And meeting her changed that. Now, there was different circumstances and things happened, but in the end, I knew the moment I met her that that was the woman I wanted to be with, the one I wanted to have kids with, the one I wanted to grow old with. And we didn't get together right away. It was a year of knowing each other before we actually got together. It was a long story, and I'll save that for another day. But the thing is, from the moment I met her, things things came into perspective. I was like, okay, now I know who I want to be with. Now I know who I'm going to have a family with. Now I just got to know who I am. And I don't really know if that truly ever goes away. I feel like we're always growing, and I feel like we always have to grow. But I feel like there's a moment for everyone when focuses shift. When pieces, I think of it this way: I have half a puzzle when I'm born, and she had half a puzzle when she was born. And I feel like that's the same for everybody. And when you meet that person, and you put all your puzzle pieces in the pile, and then you start putting them together, the picture starts to become more and more clear. And as you grow, I feel like, you adapt to learning how to see the picture a little bit better. And, maybe some pieces don't necessarily, I can't figure out where this piece goes. But as you grow older, you're like, okay, well, this piece goes here. That makes sense. Now I can add more pieces because that one piece I was missing is now in place. It's accumulated. Best way I can put it. It's accumulated over time. And sometimes you can be with someone, I'm not going to give you a for instance, because I do know a couple, but I'm not going to go on with another long story. But it's basically like sometimes you're with the right person, you don't even know it till that moment hits. Like I said, there's this moment in life when I feel like it's like in the cartoons when the light bulb comes above your head. And sometimes you're already with that person. Or it's somebody you were already with in the past that didn't work out. But now in the future, when things start to become more clear and things that you want become more evident, you start thinking back. And when the person that you think about, when things become clear, when you get that moment of clarity, that person you're thinking about is probably the person you were meant to be with. Whether it be a past person or a person you haven't met yet. You know what you know. Anyway, with all that being said, be good. Take care. Stay safe.